No idea how this is gonna go today. We'll give it a shot anyways.
Hello fellow weightlifters, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in again. In today's lift, I kicked things off again with the circus press. As you can see, we're doing a little bit of the similar or the same warm-up that we did last time. I was really pretty gassed and tired at the beginning of this workout, so I spent a little bit more time warming up my shoulders and my hips and whatnot, so really just to kind of fire my CNS up and get some more blood flowing and ready for the workout. Basically just until things felt good enough to really to perform essentially. So the sandbags felt a little bit on the heavier side, but the presses and whatnot were still a kind of a must for the warm-up. Doing my single arm presses and push presses again before getting into the first few actual working sets here. Trying to get hyped up here a little bit with the 143 pound circus dumbbell again, and I have to admit, after I got the weight up on my shoulders, it felt really good the way it sat there, but obviously then that didn't quite work out. This is the kind of stuff that's pretty crazy, how the performance can kind of vary by the day. Like you start good, but you can just kind of tell once you have it up there, it's not going to be as smooth as you want it to be. The German hike, hoch means up. So this was just the first set for each arm, and it was shit.
If it will go after my mind, I will go home and just clean up the house right now. I'm gonna give this 2 more sets, and then we'll move on to the next thing. These are hard.
To be honest, with those push presses, I should probably have a little bit more of a structured warm-up regimen ready, because I basically go from like 80 or 90 pounds to 143 right away. It's kind of a big jump, so I could technically have used like a bigger dumbbell to do the push presses with, but it's just kind of like get that first shitty set out of the way, and then that worked. So that wasn't too bad. And these fuckers, they bounce so much, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so just again trying to do 1 rep, and like I said in the previous video, it's a lot of technique as well. So even though the central nervous system wasn't like, the weight didn't feel as light as I'd like it to be, but because it was technically still the second time I did it, the movement was all right. But I'm just like, nope, done with that.
All right, I was gonna do some deadlifts here too, because we have deadlift bars at this place, but honestly, I'm just not gonna push that. Didn't really sleep too hot last night, and I also haven't had a lot of food in me today, so I feel like my whole CNS is just kind of hanging in there. However, I do want to spend the last few calories of energy trying to get up that 300 pound, let's say tombstone. So I'm just gonna pick it up, maybe walk around with it a little bit, and see how that feels, and then we're out of here.
The biggest reason why I just did the carries here was because it just, to my mind, it just felt good to do. Like, it's not like you have to do a lot of reps with it. You basically just kind of have to pick it up and hold on to it, which in itself is really kind of fun and a good exercise. So this thing was just really awkward. Like, it was really hard to grab especially from the floor. So in the end, I just ended up giving it this like massive hug. Like, my hands were just like free floating basically. But it still, like, once it was up there, it felt okay. And then after that, I figured I'm just gonna do a couple of yoke carries. So this is a homemade version that someone built out of old railroad tracks. So the apparatus by itself, like this, weighs around 550 pounds. So I sometimes do it in the summer when I really train for like a competition. I actually do this kind of as a warm-up, because after that everything else feels easy. And so I think I was just like 3 sets with that. But yoke carries are a really good exercise to like fire up your CNS, just do some heavy loaded carries, and they look pretty badass.
Workout is finished. The carries ended up being a lot better than I thought they were gonna be, so that was good. It's interesting that even though you sometimes plan things out, at least for the most part, they may not go as they are, as you plan on it. So yeah, I definitely did just the right amount now, and I'm gonna take it really easy tomorrow. But it's always a big lesson to prioritize what I guess what you're trying to accomplish in your training session. So Usually when you're trying to do a little bit more, like heavier weights and whatnot, challenge the CNS, make sure you're well fed, well rested, well hydrated. And I'm really neither of those three today. So, oh well, another week will come. Hopefully you guys had some fun watching this stuff, and have a wonderful weekend. Until next week.